Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Sonteo Media, just covering the Vergil Ortiz fight that happened this Friday, December 13th, at the Fantasy Springs Resort and Casino in Indio, California. Vergil Ortiz improved to 15-0. He kept his knockout streak complete of 15 wins by 15 knockouts. Brad Solomon was his opponent. He was going into the fight 28-1 with 9 knockouts. It was an event put together by Ortiz's promoter, Golden Boy Promotions, via the DAZN platform. There was a little bit of hiccup at the weigh-ins. Vergil did weigh in 1 pound over the 147 limit. He did come out and clear the air on Twitter and said he had weighed 1 pound under when he left Riverside. When was it? Thursday morning. So he didn't think it was a big deal. So they didn't cut any more weight that morning. And when he weighed in, he knew that he wasn't dehydrated and didn't have had plenty of more room to drop. So he literally said that it took him 15 minutes to lose that extra pound. He's extremely professional. He's very dedicated. He's pretty much a gym rat. Spends hours and hours in training, whether it be doing cardio, strength and conditioning, or working on his boxing skills. So he wanted to clear the air. He put it out there on Twitter for everybody to know that it pretty much took him 15 minutes to go back, weigh in, get down to 147, and then continue. There you see it on the far right, all the Team RGBA fighters that were there in his support. The 140 champion, unified champion, Jose Ramirez from Avenal, California, on the far left. Then you see Mikey Garcia, the WBC Diamond champion at 135. Behind him, you can't see him, but there's Robert Garcia, his trainer. And then to the right, you see Brandon Bam Bam Rios, who was a very decorated fighter at 135. And then cut off from the picture is also his dad. On the right of Brandon is Vergil Ortiz Sr. And in the middle is, with the black hat on backwards, is Hector Beltran Sr., who has been with, who's an ex-fighter, who is from Dallas, Texas as well, and from the same Viveros gym, who has been a trainer with Vergil for many, many years. There you see him. They took a picture starting on the far left. Brandon Bam Bam Rios, Mikey, Vergil, Josecito Lopez, who also trains out of Riverside, and Jose Ramirez. Black Fight Fan on his Instagram posted a DAZN post that said, "My dream match would be Errol Spence, but at 154. Maybe in 3 years. I don't see myself having an advantage at all. We both grew up in the same gym. This would be a fight for the fans back at home." Vergil's from Grand Prairie. I believe Errol Spence is from DeSoto, Texas. So both in the Dallas area. They both trained out of Gene Vivero's gym. So there is an age difference between the two. I believe Errol Spence is 29 and Vergil is 21. So I did speak to Vergil Sr. about this quote that went out, and Vergil Sr. described his son as still being a pup, still being very young and not having developed his complete man strength yet. This is his third fight at 147. So the majority of since turning pro, he had 12 fights at 140. The last 3 being at 147. So he does see a fight happening with Errol Spence in the future, but certainly at 154, so that he can be at his full man strength, as they call it in boxing. So that's what Vergil Sr. Described it. He's still a pup. Like I mentioned, this is his third fight at 147. There you see him with strength and conditioning coach Charles Trembley, who runs Fight Force Athletics. Charles Trembley has been with Jose Ramirez for many, many, many years, and he came to Riverside when Jose Ramirez came to Riverside as a new teammate to Team RGBA, and Charles had the opportunity to work with Vergil now for the third fight with Solomon, with Orozco, and now Herrera. I just wanted to mention that those past 3 fighters had over 80 fights, and none of them had ever been stopped. Mauricio Herrera was a very experienced journeyman out of Riverside, and he got stopped by Vergil. Then Antonio Orozco only had 1 loss, which was to Jose Ramirez. Was his homecoming fight with Vergil there in Dallas in August, and now Solomon. So also on the card was Golden Boy promoted fighter Alexis Lex Rocha, who improved to 14-0 with a win over Roberto Valenzuela. He won the WBC Continental America's welterweight title. He is from Santa Ana, and there he is on a poster with, this was a previous fight poster with Joet Gonzalez's brother. So he is brother to super bantamweight contender Ronnie Rios, who was 32-3, who recently fought Diego DeLaHoya for the NEBF super bantamweight title. Also on the card was Luis Feliciano from Rancho Cucamonga, who's 13-0, who had a very impressive, well, not impressive, but a hard-fought 10-round fight with Genaro Gomez in August 22nd, and before that he had a win over El Guerrero Yaqui from Ciudad Obregón over the summer. So now he fought Herbert Acevedo, 16-2-1 from Oxnard. If you want to follow Team Vergil Ortiz, you can follow him on Instagram at Vergil Ortiz. You can follow his dad at Vergil Ortiz SR, Hector Beltran Sr., and Garcia Boxing for Robert. He's promoted by Golden Boy Promotions. He's on the network for DAZN_USA. The official photographer for Vergil Ortiz is Cumbia at KUMBIAA_. He's Paol, and he lives there in Indio. And the fighter liaison for Golden Boy Promotions is Ernie, and he goes by at Ener0919 on Instagram. Thanks for listening. More videos coming soon.